This morning, I was having a discussion with my friend, and we were looking at what is poverty. We discussed poverty being a state of mind. How do we measure poverty? And during that discussion, he took me back to an old story that my grandmother, Ambi, Mom, would have told us as children years ago. I am sure you heard this story or you're familiar with some version of this story. But here you go. One day, a very wealthy, and as I explained, we're not using wealthy just for this purpose of this story. We're going to say affluent. And you'll understand why when we come to the end of the story. So one day, a very affluent father took his son on a trip to the country for the sole purpose of showing his son how it was to be poor. They spent a few days and nights in Birch Grove near Beauregard on a cocoa plantation of what will be considered a very poor family. After they returned from the trip, the father asked his son how he liked the trip. "It was great, Dad," the son replied. "Did you see how poor people can be?" the father asked. "Oh, yeah?" the son said. "So, what did you learn from the trip?" asked the father. The son answered thoughtfully, "I saw that we have one dog and they had four. We have a pool that reaches in the middle of our garden, and they have a lake that has no end." And the son started to move from the left foot to the right foot and became animated. He's like, "We imported lanterns in our garden, and they have, excuse me, and they what? And they have, uh, hold a minute, son, please, speak properly. Use your English. Translate." "Okay, Dad, I can give you your beloved Queen's English. We have imported lanterns in our garden, and they have the stars at night. And the veranda reached to the front yard, and they have a whole horizon." His father sternly interrupted his son. "Son, what language is this?" "Jesus Lord, your mother is going to kill me. What have I done? Since when you speak like this?" "Okay, Dad, calm down. I can still speak your beloved English. We have a small piece of land to live on, and they have fields and mountains that go beyond our sight. We have servants who serve us, but they serve others with a smile. We buy our food, they grow theirs. We buy air fresheners, and they got spices and nutmegs everywhere. We have walls around our property to protect us. They have friends to protect them. And you call them poor?" The boy's father stood speechless. Then his son went on even further and concluded that it showed him how poor they really are. You see, too many times we forget what we have and we concentrate on what we don't have. What is one's person's worthless object is another's prized possession. It is all based on one's perspective Sometimes it takes the perspective of a child to remind us of what is important.